Hey friends, Jaimi Alexander here, and thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. Just wanted to do a quick video for you about why fear is a good thing. And I know that sounds contradictory to the things that we've heard. And before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, please subscribe. Or if you think these videos are great and want to share with a friend that you know has been going through something or think would find value in my content and wants to evolve their mindset, transform, and think on a higher level, then share away. Because I got 800 more subscribers that I need to be an official YouTuber. But anyway, it's not about me. Let's hop into this word. I made some notes. So, first thing that I wanted to tell you is life is a natural unfolding of reality. And so we're supposed to harmonize with it in a very wholesome and participatory way. And when we're living and walking in fear, we can't do that. We are completely not present, nor are we aware of our purpose when we are fearful. And there's a lot we can learn from fear. So I want to talk about the good sides of fear and why it's necessary. Because when you're doing something and fear comes up, and if you think about what I just said, how life is a natural unfolding of reality, we all know life isn't perfect and things hurt, things come up. Things are challenging. Things are messy. All of this stuff is reality when it comes to life, but there's always a higher way to deal with things. You can deal with them and fall into your emotions, lean into your own drama and make a mess of things and go down a rabbit hole the wrong way. Or you can lean back, learn the lessons, grow, and pull out all the things that you need to pull out, so therefore you're not triggered by the same stuff anymore, because that's where fear comes from. Fear is when we work to create a life. We got this whole little sensitive set up life all around us so we can avoid having our little soft spots touched and bothered and irked and tapped at, because they're our little sensitive parts. So it's almost like we're sitting in this space and we work so hard to control everything around us so we're not offended and these soft spots aren't hurted. We aren't hurting, or nobody touches us here because of our wounds and our this and that. We're walking around kind of on eggshells, or almost like we're balancing a bunch of glass figurines all around us. And when one person comes in with something we don't like, or something we can't handle, or reminds us of something that hurts us, this glass starts to break all around and we start to fall down and shatter along with it. Because again, we've built this whole construct around us so that we don't get hurt. And that's no way to live. It keeps us small. It keeps us from being all of who we were meant to be. And that is just a huge disservice to the world. You've never been here before, neither have I. And when we die, ain't gonna be no more. So it's very important that we live at our full capacity, because this is literally all we have to offer with our time. If you're not spending your time doing something full and meaningful and purposeful and specifically designed and created through you, the channel of life that flows through you, then what are we doing? Death doesn't discriminate. Death is one of those things that it reminds you of the insignificant things that we cling so hard to. We want the stuff, we want the job, we want the career, we want the relationship, we want to own this, possess that. But death be like, it makes all that insignificant. When you're gone, that's it. Whether you're black, white, crippled, gay, successful, rich, not, it doesn't matter. So we sometimes find ourselves fearing death and, doing all of these things when really it doesn't discriminate. It's like, we don't want to wait until our last breath in order for death to be our teacher. We can live meaningful and purposeful and full and powerful and transformative now with everything that we have and what we've been given. So that's the good thing about fear too, is when we see it arise, we know that that's like a ding, ding, ding. That's like a signpost that we have something that we need to heal within. It's very powerful to heal things within your spirit, because we hold, I feel like, our emotions and our anger and things that hurt us and things like that in our heart. So when we talk about opening our hearts, or, our heart space and cleaning out our heart chakra and things like that, we have to remember everything goes through and flows out of our heart. So if you're harboring things that are challenging for you and hurt you, and that you've got them so tight and bound up, nobody can touch this part, you're not letting that part of your heart be touched. You're not letting that part of your heart be worked with. And you're also not letting parts of life live through that part of your heart that you have closed off, because you don't want to be touched, you don't want to be bothered, you don't want to be offended, you don't want to be broken, you don't want to be hurt again. All of these things. Everything that we do flows from the heart. So our main mission is to clear that channel and heal everything that's in there, so we can show up in the fullness of all we've been created to be. So fear is a good thing because it shows us where we need to heal. Now you got to be willing to do the work. This isn't just seeing, for example, right? Not too long ago, I was working with some colleagues and I found out some information that I felt they all kept from me. And I was very bothered by it. Like, it hit a part of me like, see, this is why I don't fool with people in this environment. See, this is why I don't, and da-da-da-da-da. And it just made me angry and it made me feel closed. I felt offended. Like, why would these people do that to me? But the reality is, nothing that happens on the outside of us has anything to do with what's going on the inside of us. Something that they did touched a soft spot within me. So now I had to look at that soft spot. Like, what was it, Jay? Was it that you felt left out? Was it that you felt like someone didn't care, or that you were not seen or acknowledged? So I had to start asking myself the important questions about why I really felt angry and offended by what I heard, because let's be real, like, we got to do the work, y'all. It's so easy for me to be like, they should have did this and they didn't do that, so they're the reason why and I'm the victim. That's just another way of victimizing yourself. But if you can take the reins and really say, like, this felt like this. Why did I feel like that? Do I feel like I'm not acknowledged? Do I have an ego complex, or do I have feelings within me that says if people around me don't do things this certain way, that they're wrong? Like, we got to stop trying to puppeteer everything around us and deal with what's inside of us. So again, it's just another fear that is uncovered. And if you ask yourself the right questions, you'll be able to get to the depths of why you feel the way that you feel. And when you overcome that, you just become a better vessel walking this planet, okay? Because everything can actually flow through you. That's the goal. It's about life being able to flow through you, you being able to harmonize with it in a wholesome and participatory way. How can you participate in wholeness and come to the table and be present if you're like, I'm not going to go over there and talk to that guy because he looks like my ex-boyfriend and he's probably a cheater and a liar, and I'm not going to take that job because you know what, last time I had a job, they did this and that. I'm not going to go over there because you know how they be like. How can you live full? How can you be real? How can you be fearless, courageous? All this stuff, all these memes. I am fearless, I am courageous. Affirmations and all that are cute, but if you're not doing the work, that mess is trash. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So seeing what your disturbances are and what they're trying to tell you is very powerful, and that's what's good about fear. And then when you do uncover that, don't touch it. Don't touch it and play with what's bothering you and what you're afraid of. Lean back and look at it. So for example, when these colleagues of mine, when I found out there was something that I felt like I should know, that I felt like they kept from me and I felt slighted, what would have been better, because it ain't what I did. I let my feelings be known, and I think there's a tactful way to do that. I didn't go off and pop up in there, but I was very, like, this hurt me. But then I had to go home and think to myself, like, but why? And unpeel the layers of that. And getting to that, instead of getting involved with it, allows you to respond in a better way. So as I learn and grow and work to be better, I see, like, okay, when you get warm, because when your body get warm, because you're really ready to tell somebody about themselves, that's when you can really take a deep breath and lean back. I told you all week, we're talking about leaning back. So we're going to have to get you the lean back bracelet. You can go to getstonedwithus.com because it's all about leaning back. If you can't lean back and see what's going on, you might get caught up in it. And that's when you start reacting and becoming emotional and maybe offend other people and put yourself in a position you don't want to be in. So feel the feelings, but right when you see it, because this is how transformation happens. Everything that we experience in life is a spiritual happening. Where spirituality is constant transformation, constant. There is no, oh, I'm going to arrive, or I got this pile of problems to fix. All of this stuff happens in moments. So for that example, when you get warm, or you feel like you want to pop off, or you're upset because somebody cut you off, or you're mad because somebody did it and all this, and somebody did it and they didn't give and they didn't do and da-da-da-da-da-da. Right before you start getting ready to lean into, I told them to do that and they could have done this and they're not living right, before you get on all that, take that deep breath and just fall behind the issue, fall behind the problem, fall behind the chitter chatter that's telling you you need to be emo about it, and just let yourself breathe, relax, and get back to a neutral space. Then you can go and examine why it bothered you in the first place. This is the way we create change in the entire world. It is your responsibility to evolve and become the best version of you for everyone, including yourself. This is how we raise the vibration collectively and put ourselves in a position to be surrounded by more loving, understanding, and compassionate people. It starts with you and the work that you're willing to do. And it's not easy. That's why people don't do it. Sometimes I feel like, I see men, they just be dating. I know personal guy friends who have been in relationships that I know they're not happy in, but they just stay because it was their college girlfriend and people expect them to stay married, or we don't get divorced around here, or they never had the discernment in the beginning to pick the right partner, so they're just like, well, we already have the kids, and they just stay. And now I get it, marriage might be a tough one because you don't want to get married and get divorced, but all I'm saying is some people are comfortable in their mess as opposed to doing the work. It's ugly, it's hard, it requires sacrifice. But wouldn't you rather be on the other side of that? We only get to live once. Why do you want to just be comfortable in being able to navigate this little fake world you propped up around you so nobody offends you, so you don't get upset, you don't get hurt? Now you're living in this little porcelain bubble and we're not even getting all of you. We can't even get in there. Okay. I think I got my point across. I just want to scan past a couple of my notes that I wrote down for y'all and make sure I hit everything. But yeah, fear is nice because when it comes up, it uncovers something deep inside you that needs to come out. So let it come out and deal with it. Deal with it. Don't be afraid to deal with it. Don't be afraid to look at your childhood. Don't be afraid to look at your parents. Your parents can still be great parents and still have done some things that made you feel some type of way when you were 11. But think about it, it was an 11-year-old brain. Maybe it was this, maybe it was that, maybe it was or wasn't. But you have an opportunity to look at things for what they are and see why you feel the way you feel, so that way you can get to the bottom of how you're gonna live this life. Lastly, what is, powerful when it comes to fear is die to be reborn. Be willing to let go of it all. Just to be who you are, you have to let go of who you think you are. So much of our fears and what we experience in life come from the way we see ourselves. So we got to separate how we see ourselves and who we really are and be very clear about those two things. So if you're not clear about how you see yourself and who you really are and the difference between the two and finding that middle ground, then it might be some soul work for you to do. Bust it on out. Who does God say you are? Who does the highest part of you say you are? And then who do you think you are? How do you show up in the world? What do you tell yourself about you? And how do those differ? Thank you guys so much for watching. Just wanted to spit a little bit out. Like I said, this week is all about leaning back. We talked about the negative thinking and the chatter that goes on in your mind, whether it's good or bad, or whether it's just even observatory. All of that is here, and you got a chance to be back here. This is what's going on. This is the real you watching it. Like, oh my God. You can either get involved and be with it, or you can sit back and just let it be and just observe. This is where God is. He don't get involved in all that. God's back here while all this is going on. So we talked about that and leaning back into the seat of consciousness, and we're talking about fear and how we can lean back into the truth of ourselves and the reason that we're afraid, and kind of do that work back here while all this stuff is going on. It's not what happened to you. It's not what the person said. It's not who cheated. It's not who disrespected you. It's not who cut you off. It's you and how you feel about yourself. Am I worthy? Am I enough? So let's lean back and look at ourselves and see what's going on. So we leaning back all week. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you found value in this message, share it with a friend, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.